We're here at the Canon Lounge, and we have the opportunity to speak with Tim Smith. Can you tell us a little bit about your position there with Canon?
So I'm Canon's senior advisor to film and television production, which means that I'm sort of the quality control manager on some high-profile projects that are shooting on Canon gear, like the film Knock Knock here and those things. So I try to advise on those in terms of what cameras to choose and be there to support the filmmaker.
So I like coming to Sundance quite a bit, and Canon has actually had a great presence here at Sundance. Can you tell us about when you started coming to Sundance, when the Canon brand has, and how it has progressed?
Yeah, I think we've been coming, 5 years now, and the response to the product has been amazing, and it's really noticeable in the films that are coming to Sundance. 5 years ago, I would guess that was a half a dozen films, mostly lower budget docs and things along those lines where the cameras we had at the time sort of fit into that budget. It was more of the camera was the choice of a budget issue. Now we have films like Knock Knock or The Overnight, which are big films at this festival that were being shot exclusively on our cameras, which in 5 years, it's an amazing stretch to go from people who were shooting films on a shoestring to people who were independent films for big theatrical release.
And why do you think the change has occurred?
Our product has gotten better, for starters. About 3.5 years ago now, we introduced our cinema line. So instead of just the SLRs that were also capable of shooting video, we built a camera which was more traditional filmmaking camera, like this one here, the C300, where you could put cinema lenses on it, follow focus rigs, and all the traditional things that you need for filmmaking.
Well, let's feature the C300 here. Can you tell us why you want to showcase this camera, and then we'll go over some of the details of it.
The 300 was, I think, the one that really pushed us over the top. We had the 5D Mark II, which started all of this. It was an SLR that shot a great cinematic look, but the C300 was the first real cinema camera that we produced, and we still sell it. It's still selling extremely well, and I would guess, just anecdotally, that that's, in the doc world, that's probably the #1 camera for documentaries, and it's also being used theatrically. So this is the actual camera here, okay, and this is all wrapped around this wonderful rig made by Zacuto, and there's several choices. This is the Zacuto rig that the 300 holds, which turns it into a very comfortable shoulder-mounted camera for actually what we're even doing here, these interviews, or traditional filmmaking.
Well, I'm excited to try this out. Well, we're going to switch the mics. I'm going to grab the camera here, but while we're doing that, can you tell us maybe some of the films, documentaries that have been shot on this?
Sure. This year, the big one that was the C300, I would say, would be The Overnight, which was shot by John Gulazarian in HD. And John has also been here with films like Crazy, which was done on a Canon SLR called a 7D years ago. So even we've kind of pushed it up. That has been a really big film. It's also been a B, C, D, F camera on every television show, and in every film they have some shots. It marries very well with a very traditional film camera called the Alexa, which is in a lot of films, and this marries very well with that as well. So it's a very popular camera.
So what are the features that make this camera better than the other ones out there? Better's probably not the right choice. It's not they're different cameras for different. The punishment fits the crime. Different films need different looks or need different things. This is a little more traditional, meaning the sensor size is called Super 35. It's interchangeable lenses, so it gives you a large lens selection to choose from. We have 6, 12, we have probably over 70 lenses now that will mount to that camera, or we offer it in what's called a PL, which is a traditional mount for everybody else's lenses as well. So you have lens choice, no problem there. You have many companies like Zacuto that have also produced rigs, which let you configure it from a very small package, like you would use maybe in a unique dock situation where you only have really small areas, so you have a small camera, or you can build it out as big as you want, or somewhere in between. Yeah, I just got hooked on the Canon. I actually got one for Christmas myself, and the reason I went to the Canon, like you were saying, was mostly based on the interchangeable, lenses and parts, and that it's been something that other companies really aren't doing. I feel like here.
Traditional video cameras are a fixed lens camera, and your shot choices, your framing, all is relative only to what you can do with those lenses. So.
Right. Now, what advice do you have from the beginner to myself, as well as, say, the advanced person out there when it comes to buying a camera?
Start small. I mean, cameras are getting fairly inexpensive. You can get SLRs that are very good, under $1,000. We have cameras that'll get you up into the tens of thousands of dollars. And then also consider lens selection, the price of the lenses. If you were to go with an SLR lens, SLR camera, then you have lots of lenses that are reasonably priced. If you want cinema lenses, they get much more expensive, much faster. We have cinema lenses anywhere from $6,000 or $7,000 to $80,000. So you have to look at your budget and look at cameras not as just a camera purchase, but a package.
Great. Well, you know, I love the feel and handle of this camera here. I love the focusing that you have going on. And, you know, I'm excited to get into film myself. And, you know, if you're getting into film, Canon's the way to go, right?
Absolutely. We've worked with a lot of independent filmmakers, gotten a lot of careers started. So
everybody watching right now, go out there, get yourself a Canon camera. Thank you for your time there, Tim.
You're welcome. Thanks.